Peace to all the viewers. We have here two different generations of the same environment. We both was brought up and came up in the Bayside area of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Wanted to get together to mainly cover the topic of product of an environment. You know, we have a generational mirror here of how environments produce certain things as far as lived experience and challenges and opportunities. We all know that certain circumstances and things are handed down from one generation to another, and it matters how we view it at a young age or we just view it at all in our upbringing or in our come up. Uh, I actually had the pleasure of knowing this man as a young man. You know, he was a generation under me, and we traveled the same neighborhoods and came up under the same elders and the same people. We also benefited off of, one of our cousins that was there for us while we was incarcerated, and basically made sure that we was taken care of and supported on all levels. It's a lot of similarities there, but it's a lot of differences because everybody's story is different. Everybody, you could come up next door neighbors, and your story be just as unique and individualized as you are as a person. So, I, I'm Jeremy Bernard Johnson, known as Universal, and a few other entitlements that I have gained in my journey.
I'm Amar Smith. Um, Social media, I go by Kurt Sway. you know, Everybody always asks where that came from, but I don't know. It's just a name I threw out there, and it is what it is. But yeah, come up in Bayside area, Bayside Arms, North Ridge, and man, it was a thing watching the older guys, my brother here, do their thing out there, and you look back on it, it's like, oh man, what were my options to choose from? Because we had many options, but we always watched the older brothers, man, on out there doing their thing, and it was just at that at that time, at that age, it was amazing to watch them. And they come through with the cars, and you know, it was what it was. And of course, it took us to a dark place, and then we're back to the light. So that's what we're here today to do. To um, share those moments that got us to right here where we are right now, and hopefully people will get from it what we got from it, which is growth. Yeah.
Coming off of a few things you just said, one, I think back during those times, like right before my incarceration, the generation that I came up in the Bayside area with, they have done a lot of big things now. But we wasn't looking at becoming the people that we became.
Right.
We just was living life.
Right.
We didn't even know y'all looked up to us.
Right.
It was just at the point of where that we mirrored what we seen.
True.
When I came down from New York, the only thing that was familiar to me was Bayside Arms.
For sure.
Because my mom moved me down here and I'm seeing houses and suburbs.
Yeah.
So when I go out the way and I see the apartment buildings,
Right.
I see people that move like me, that
Right.
talk like me,
Right.
and think like me. So that's what I gravitated to. But I met them on the football field. Me coming down, I didn't know anything about sports, and I got into football, and I met some people that I have been with my whole life, and we met each other, and we never parted. But at the same time, we went through so many trials and tribulations because, like you say, we don't look at having options when we're coming up and we're young like that. We look at the generation before us, and we look at our generation. So the people that we look up to, they have direct influence on us. And a lot of the elders back then used to tell us, don't do what I'm doing. But see, when you're dealing with a youth and they're looking at somebody they idolize or they love, they're going to do what they see and try to emulate that to a perfection.
True.
So that's what we did. We would play football. We was happy on the football field, and we was able to get a lot of frustrations out as we grew older. We continued to play sports but we started straddling the fence. When we needed sneaker money, when we needed things, money in our pocket, anything, we went to what we knew. We knew how to get it because the environment produced that too. You got to look at the Virginia Beach environment at that time. It was a military environment. All the armed forces, a lot of tourism. It wasn't what it has evolved to now. Even I can remember when hip hop first started coming to the Tower area, it was Teddy Riley, it was Guy, people we know like Chance, they got on with them. And a lot of people started gravitating towards that Tidewater area. Then we seen Pharrell and other people coming up, and we right in the trenches with them as they're establishing themselves. And the family ties is so large and so spread it out that even though we had positive influences and options, we couldn't see them because all we could see was what was right directly in front of us. All we could see is the blocks, the neighborhoods, what they produce, what they provide. So if we're not on the football field or we're not in school together, we're seeing the streets and what we can gain on that level.